r/AttorneyTom. What's up, YouTube? AttorneyTom here. Today we're going to be reacting again to my Reddit thread, r/AttorneyTom. There's been tons of traction on it since the last video I made, so here we go. But before we begin, a couple of things. First, I just got back from Starbase, Texas. I am uploading the footage that I took. I'm going to be making a video very shortly on that soon. Second, thank you so much. We just passed 260,000 subscribers. If you want to join this community, I ask that you consider subscribing. Alright, let's jump right into it. Memes. We have to go down to where we left off. First one, hey Tom, would you consider making a video about the marriage between Count Olaf and Violet from a series of unfortunate events? Yes, and I actually made a video per this request. There's also another request on the YouTube poll, but I made this video. It's in the queue, but I uploaded it, it got flagged, I appealed it, it was clearly fair use as you can get, and I lost my appeal. So I don't know, I'm a lawyer. It's like the definition of fair use is analyzing something for educational purposes to see, you know, whatever. So I don't really know. I think YouTube's just broken. So I'm gonna try to appeal again. I don't know if I upload it, will they give me a copyright strike, even though that's BS? How much do I want to fight it? I don't know. But yes, this video's already made. This video's already made. Kentucky Colonel. How are you a Kentucky Colonel if you work in Texas? I've actually never even been to Kentucky, but you can be a Kentucky Colonel from anywhere. It's just an honor. I was nominated by a Kentucky Colonel, so I became a Kentucky Colonel. And as I said in that other video that I made, I could go by Colonel Attorney Tom, but I wasn't in the military and I don't want people to think that I was in the military. But Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken was a Kentucky Colonel, not an actual colonel. Framed folded flag. Hey Tom, big fan of your work. One more question about expanding the Attorney Tom cinematic universe. Ooh, I like that. ATCU. I'm gonna steal that. ATCU. Expanding the ATCU. Your Kentucky Colonel explanation video. Just covered that. You have a framed folded flag behind you next to your JD on the wall. Is that yours or your family members? Just curious, as I'm a veteran myself. Best wishes. Well, thanks for the question. Meet Rob Wayne. I'm not a veteran, as I just explained. That flag actually belongs to my grandfather on my mother's side, my mother's father, who fought in World War II and Korea. On my father's side, my grandfather, my dad's dad, fought in Vietnam. So I have veterans on both sides of the family. But that is not my flag, and actually, that's a great idea. I think I would love to display that flag. I think I'm going to go to my office and bring the flag and put it in one of these areas. It's a great idea. Can I fly a plane with a weapon system? If I do my NFA paperwork and fly in the same state as I'm registered, can I fly a plane with missiles or bombs installed? Probably not. I have no idea, but no? Listen, I'm not an expert on this particular subject, but I would be willing to bet no. No, you wouldn't. How well does this sign protect me legally? Beware of bearded dragons. And there's a bearded dragon on top of it. It's a great question. Obviously, this was a cute photo, but signs really don't do anything. I mean, for instance, let's just say you had a beware of dog sign and the dog escaped, right? And hurt somebody. Well, I had a sign up, blah, blah, that doesn't really work. So listen, it's going to depend case by case basis on signs, but for the most part, they have no bearing. Like, you always see signs like, we are not responsible for any personal injuries that occur on our property. Just because you stick up a sign doesn't really mean anything. Now, if somebody's trespassing on your property and you have a sign and they get attacked by an animal that you told them to beware of, you know, that could definitely be a defense, but it's certainly not like a get out of jail free card. But that's a cute bearded dragon. So I was wondering if you know how you can have a donating organ stamp on your license. I've heard that if you're badly hurt with little chance of living, the first responders might be more inclined to let you die, so you would give up your organs. Is this legal? Okay, First of all, I think that it is a huge myth. I know some doctors, this would never actually be a thing. They would lose their license so quick, and that's murder. I myself am an organ donor. Most people actually agree with the concept of organ donation, but they make it difficult for people to become organ donors. You have to go to the DPS or the DMV, whatever your state calls. You have to register there, or at least that's how it works in Texas. I think everybody should be an organ donor automatically. And if somebody doesn't want to be an organ donor for whatever reason, then you can opt out. Just like how right now it's an opt-in statute, you can opt out of being an organ donor. Every day, 22 people die waiting for organ transplants. And I think something crazy like 95% of people agree with the concept of organ donation, yet only like 10% of people actually are organ donors because it's a pain in the butt to become one. But circling back, yes, it would totally be illegal if a doctor lets you die for your organs. But I do not think that happens. So I hope not. Can you use the government for wrongful conviction? I'm assuming you meant sue. Say you get wrongfully imprisoned, you get out. Can you sue the government for compensation for the lost time in prison? So that actually just depends. It depends on who jailed you. Was it a state government? What state government? The federal government? Some states have laws that give you compensation, like $100 a day for every day you were wrongfully imprisoned. I'm just making up a number. Some states don't. I've heard stories of individuals who were in jail for 20 years. I interviewed a gentleman, Ricky Kidd, back in my channel back in the day, wrongfully imprisoned for 20 years for a crime he did not commit. He was actually innocent, did not commit the crime alleged, and it was a murder. He got paid $0 because the state which imprisoned him didn't have that compensation available. The sad reality is your right to sue comes from the government, right? They make laws on what are actionable lawsuits. So if the government doesn't make that an actionable lawsuit, you're out of luck. Short Attorney Tom memes, go Burr. 6 feet. Please stand at least 4 Attorney Toms apart. Oh my god. Okay. So that would mean, okay, 6 divided by 4. What, do you think I'm 1.5 feet tall? Look at this. Look at this. Well, I'm even off the screen. I'm off, look how I'm just, how tall do you think this furniture is? Huh? From IKEA. Look it up. I don't know how tall it is, but I'm at least, I don't know, look, bottom of elbow to here. Shit. I told you, I'm 6'1". Height reveal at 300,000 subs. What, you think I bought the really small furniture? Huh? 1.5 feet. Ridiculous. Question for next Ask Reddit video. So back in the day, my friends and I would always say that a cop can't follow you for more than a mile, then pull you over. Is this true? It didn't make much sense to me, and always said that there's no way that's true. If someone violated a law, even if being followed for a cop for over a mile, they still could be pulled over. Everyone would argue that it's some form of intimidation. We were teenagers at the time and believed a lot of nonsense. No. A cop can follow you for more than a mile. Again, to clarify, not legal advice. Every state's going to have different laws. Maybe a state has some form of law about this, but you're in the public. A cop can follow you. Them following you but not putting on their lights, you're not under a detention, they're not stopping you. That's just you being in the public. So a cop can visibly observe what you're doing. It's not intimidation if they're following you and not doing anything. You can just go about your day. Right? And as always, police need reasonable suspicion to pull you over, and they need probable cause to arrest you. But following you for more than a mile? No, there's no hard rule about that. Do lawyers work on retainers anymore? I know they used to, but I don't know if it applies in the age of credit cards and such. Also, what happens when a retainer runs out during a case? So the short answer is yes, they do work on retainers. The whole point of a retainer isn't necessarily the available funds of payment, it's the ability to pay or the actual payment itself. Let me give you an example. Say a lawyer wants to perform work and they're going to do it on a credit card basis. Okay, so he or she, the lawyer, runs up a $5,000 bill for the work they do. Then they charge the credit card. The credit card's denied. Well, you're not going to get that money. The client might argue with you. They might dispute the bill. They might just completely go off the deep end and you would never find them. So what retainers do is you already have the money and you put it in a trust account. So just because you deposit a retainer doesn't mean you've spent the retainer. The whole point of retainers is you bill against that retainer, and as you bill against that retainer, the money moves from the client trust account, an IOLTA account, to the lawyer's operating funds. So, for instance, if I request a $10,000 retainer and I only do $5,000 worth of work, the client is going to get back the remaining $5,000 of their retainer. And yes, this is still a very common practice. Lawyers use retainers. But do you know who doesn't take retainers? For the most part, me. My law firm has only ever done one case on an hourly basis, and I hated it so much. I hate hourly work. I hate it with a passion. I don't keep track of my time. I'm super ADD. I just like getting the work done. My law firm, the cases I take are off of contingency fees, so my clients actually don't pay me. I get paid if and only if I win. Is this legal? Red redneck. Oh, look, that's pretty yee up here. I don't know. Probably not. But it's pretty cool. What happens when a restraining order is abused? Well, the police are called, and you can go to jail for violating a restraining order. Could you be accountable or charged if you render aid ineffectively? Example, let's say someone gets impaled with an object. I removed said object, which resulted in them bleeding out. The short answer is yes, it is possible, and there's actually some cases about this. There are some laws in some states that protect from issues like this. They're called Good Samaritan statutes, meaning, if you're acting as a Good Samaritan, you're trying to help somebody, but you end up hurting them while you help them, you might be immune from legal liability, but that's not the case in every single time, and certainly that can happen, and there are situations in which people do get in trouble and have legal liabilities, whether civil or criminally, for interfering with things that they shouldn't be interfering of or improperly rendering aid. Especially if you're a medical professional, you're trying to render aid, that's malpractice. A man steals $10K from his girlfriend. He uses the $10K to buy lotto tickets. The tickets ended up winning $100 million. His girlfriend, obviously mad, and demands her money back and the millions he won. She sued him, but all he wants to give her is the $10,000 that he stole. How much should he give her? It's a tough one. Obviously, both sides at this point are going to hire a lawyer, and you're going to litigate it out. It just depends. You can make an argument both ways. Can you get arrested for being in a self-driving car drunk? Yes. As of right now, 2021, you, the driver is responsible for operating a vehicle. So if you have a Tesla and it drives itself and you're drunk behind that, well, you can still be charged because you are operating that motor vehicle. Maybe at some point in the future those will change, but as of right now, yes, absolutely, do not drink and drive. This doesn't seem legally fair whatsoever. Before I'm even looking at this, the law tain't fair. It ain't fair. Tain't fair, as my legal professor used to say. Gucci flip-flop. Is it illegal for a mechanic out collision shop to charge extra if it's almost closing time, or would it be there before closing time? Hypothetical scenario, shop closes at 8, customer says, hey, I get desired work, I won't be there before 8. Yes, we'll do desired work, but it's gonna cost you an extra $400. I don't know, it's gonna depend on the state you're in. It could be deceptive trade practice. I don't know. Okay, I thought I was gonna try to get to all of the questions today, but there are so many posts on my Reddit, so I'm gonna have to do another video about this. This might be a recurring segment. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question. I'm gonna do another video soon. I'm already planning on scheduling to film it in the next day or so. So thank y'all so much. Please make sure you hit that like button if you want to be a part of this community. We're growing like crazy. Leave any questions, comments, concerns down below. Be more than happy to answer them. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.